Andrew Kirikkale, the broken man. Angela had been driving north on the highway for what must have been a good hour or so, talking with her good friend Celine on the cell phone. At last it dawned on her that the car that was following her had been in the same position in her side view mirror for probably that entire hour. A feeling of panic was rising in her heart as she related her situation to Celine. Gathering her courage, Angela pulled into the left lane. The pursuer followed. She pulled back into the right lane, and the other car did the same. Why wouldn't the car pass her? She pulled over to the left off the highway. The car followed. Angela knew that in the past she would have been too afraid to do what she was about to do, but now she stopped in front of some apartments, and the pursuing car did the same, about 30 feet behind her. Calming herself further whilst lingering a bit in her seat, Angela at last exited her car and headed slowly but resolutely toward her pursuer's car. As she got close enough, though, it became clear that no one was in it, though the engine was still on. Was this some kind of bizarre trick someone was playing on her? Was she imagining this? Her seizure of bafflement gave way to anger at being the subject of such oddness, and she slammed her fist down on the car's hood. But as she was not expecting, the car absolutely fell to pieces in front of her. As Angela stared at the heap, the dust rising behind her, a voice screeched, "Hey, what are you doing to my car?" She spun around to see a disheveled man in a dust-riddled long riding coat. She perceived he was excessively gaunt, coming towards her. Fear dried her throat, but she swallowed and promised him that she would take full responsibility for replacing his car. "That car was one of a kind," he complained. "You can't just replace it." As he glared at her, she was again overcome with anger, and she decked him good in the jaw, and he too collapsed into a heap of dusty shards. Out of the apartment, 10 feet behind this commotion, came her neighbor Emerson Chi, who calmly surveyed the two piles of brokenness. He said, "All this broken stuff yours?" Angela shakily replied, "Not exactly. If I tell you how they got here, would you tell me what you think I should do?" He said he would, so she told her strange tale to him, and he screwed his lips together and looked at the ground a while. After a bit, he slowly replied, "You know how sometimes you come home with all your groceries and you're not really sure where they all should go until you keep putting them away one by one at a time. Before long, you got them all put away. I think this is how you should go through your strange story, one piece at a time." And he placidly went back into the apartment. Angela was puzzled and deep in thought as she walked over to her vehicle and sat in the driver's seat.